and welcome. My name is Hami, and this is a short video of different games I've worked on and what I did in them. Let's have a look.
Double Moon Studios.
Okay, so for the first one is the FrogSweeper. We worked on this as a game jam. We had a week to make this, and I was the game designer, and also I helped with some of the programming and the mechanics. This one was actually one of the first game jams I've ever worked on. It was very interesting to work as a team and come up with all the crazy ideas. The concept was take Frogger and add opposite. Now, however you want to do it. So what we did, we said that Frogger had enough and decided to pick up a car and go around and save its frog friends. But it's up to you how good of a driver you are. So you actually have to go around and pick up the frogs to survive like that. You might notice that throughout the whole game there are tons of Easter eggs. That was one of our favorite things about this game. But we try to have fun while making this. This one was a university project. We were trying to make a tangible game. We decided to go with a Wii controller and tried to make a game that used Wii to direct a laser. And the story follows a cat that is trying to destroy as many dishes as he can because the human that he's protecting is very sorry about washing dishes, so let's help the human by destroying more dishes. And you need to destroy them before your owner comes back and helps you. On this one, I was the jack of all trade. I helped out with anything I could. I helped out with the programming of the main menu, with the layouts, some of the game designs, and I was basically the handyman that if anyone needed help, they would come to me. I did all the sounds too, I forgot about that. This one was another game jam, but for this one we didn't manage to finish it. We actually didn't have any programmers, so we had to just, teamwork and try to get the best out of what we could. Now, some of the people that signed up to be part of our team didn't manage to show up, so we just did what we could. The game turned out to be buggy and not complete, so we ended up having this. I was the game designer again and also producer, but it didn't work out the way we wanted to, unfortunately. This one was actually a Tom Hanks jam and university project. I worked on this alone. I tried to there is a tutorial game that is on Unity, which is Roll the Ball. And I tried to add a new spin, which is your Wilson from the Castaway, and you're trying to find your Tom Hanks of the movie, and you're trying to go through different portals to find the right one. So you go in different environments of the movie that Tom Hanks has played and try to find them. Originally, I wanted to do 5 or 6 levels, but I end up making 3, 4 levels and making it simple. But yeah, I did everything for this, which is why the model is so bad. I'm not a fan of modeling, but I still have fun while making it. this was one of my favorite levels because it was set about Apollo 13, and each level you lose a controller. So the previous one you didn't have a S, this one you don't even have a W. So you just control left or right. And I wasn't gonna go more into that, but again, time limit. One of the struggles that I had on this one was making sure the cubes are visible, which is why I decided to add a particle effect on each one of them, which doesn't really make sense, but it makes them visually more understanding, and players tend to understand what they need to do. So, yeah, why not? This is the last level. I wanted to make it so that you only can direct one key, but I didn't have enough time to make that happen, which is unfortunate, but I'm making do with that. Bru-El, Test of Righteousness, is actually one of the proudest projects I worked on. I tried to do as much of it as I could. The torch and there's a scene where it has a zombie. Those two are the only two things that I couldn't make myself because of the time limit I had. I made this as a university project, but at the same time, it was a work that I wanted to do for a very long time, so it was good that it came together. Again, I did the game design, the puzzles, the levels, the modeling, the art, everything. This section of the white walls is actually one of the accidents that turns out to be looking good. I wasn't planning to use the white walls. It was just something that I had lying around. It was just design as a texture I had, and I thought, why not just use that as a placeholder? And it looked really good visually. It really looked good, and I thought, why not just use that style for all of the game? And that's where everything came from. The story of this is inspired by a game I played as Dungeons & Dragons, and Bru-El is actually the character that I played. And during my plays of Dungeons & Dragons, I made a deal with the devil, which you shouldn't do apparently. And to redeem myself, I had to make sure that I pass certain tasks. I didn't manage to get to the point of redeeming myself in the actual game because the campaign was over before I redeemed myself, but I assumed this is what Bru-El did afterwards, which is ask his god or deity that what do I need to do to prove myself. And I thought it would be quite funny that you have two answers which both are not good answers. There's no right answer. What would you do? Which is why I decided to add a little bit of a twist at the end. Which is, if you complete the games, you're essentially playing the hands of the monks. There's an easier way out. There's another game that did a similar thing, which I played it after I made my own game, which was quite funny. I played Far Cry 4 afterwards, which I later found out that it has a similar thing at the beginning. think that kind of games really put trust into fans, and I quite like that concept. Reward the player. So this was both endings. One is you kill a person to save 5, or you kill 5 to save the 1. However, both are technically wrong because you can just turn around and leave. And here we go. These are some of the games I worked on. There are some more games I worked on that I can't talk about. There are some games that I never finished. There are some that I did finish and I can talk about, but I just didn't, because why reveal everything? If you want to find out some more of my games or some of these games, go down to my itch.io. The link will be down below, and that rhythm really well. So cool. Damn it, I ruined. So for now, likes and shares are appreciated, but most of all, feedback. Let me know what you think. Give me that comment, rip me apart, or tell me that's pretty cool or not. But appreciate it regardless. Thank you so much. Have a good night, good afternoon, and guten Tag.